I was in the town of Crewe the other day, and I came across another Jehovah's Witness tent, or whatever they call it. But they're getting bigger and bigger in the streets now, and I think they're actually ceasing to do the door-to-door preaching work. But I remember this booklet when I was a child, a teenager, I'd say. But I don't know, I can't remember this in the back of the one I had, but it's actually on page 228, and it's "How can I protect myself from sexual predators?" He grabbed me and threw me down before I knew what was happening. I tried everything I could to fight him off. I pulled out a can of pepper spray, but he knocked it away. I tried to scream, but only air escaped my lungs. I pushed, kicked, punched, and escaped and scratched. And that's when I felt a knife pierce my skin. I went completely limp. And it's now saying sexual predators run rampant today, and young people are often the target of their attack. Some youths, like Annette, are assaulted by a stranger. Others are attacked by a neighbour. Such was the case with Natalie, who at just 10 years of age was sexually abused by a teenager who lived near her home. I was so scared and ashamed that at first I didn't tell anyone, she says. Many youths have been molested by a family member between the age of 5 and 12. I was sexually abused by my father, says a woman named Carmen. I finally confronted him about it when I was 20. He said he was sorry, but a few months later he kicked me out of the house. See, I've read this whole paragraph. I mean, to cut a long story short, I've read through the whole paragraph, all about how they handle it. But really, towards the end, it's almost like that same video on how to cope with suicide. When that girl was suicidal, all they could do is show her a few Bible verses in the book of Job. And it's doing exactly the same here. There's no mention of contacting the police or anything like that. It's saying almost exactly the same thing. Go to the elders. And it just disgusts me. And it's saying, telling your story. The Bible tells us that in the height of his personal turmoil, the righteous man Job said, I will give vent to my concern about myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. You will benefit from doing the same. You'll benefit from doing the same. Talking to a trusted confidant about what happened can in time help you to come to terms with the rate and gain relief from your distressing emotions. In fact, if you are a Christian, it is important that you speak to a congregation elder about what happened. You see, they keep denying all this. Every time I meet them on the streets, I say, you have this 2-witness rule, don't you, about the cover-up of it? And they deny it. They said, no, if something like that happened, we'd always take matters to the police. But I'm afraid it's first story about Annette. This is even worse than just getting raped. This is about her being kicked. And I felt a knife pierce through my skin. I went completely limp. Now, wouldn't the most proper thing would be to go straight to the police? But no, it's ridiculous. And what is so insulting and intimidating about this, it's giving you an action plan. When I feel guilty about what happened, it's trying to sort of put the blame on the victim by saying, maybe you shouldn't dress inappropriately and all this nonsense. And then it leaves you with an insulting journal. So if anybody has got a copy of this book, the modernised version of Question Young People Ask, Answers That Work, Volume 1, honestly,